Spartan Survivors is a top-down shooter where you fight hordes of Covenant and Flood on maps inspired by the Halo CE mission list. It's not an official Halo game, but developers Bathrobe and Omega have gotten permission from Halo Studios themselves to create it, so it's kinda an official Halo game. They finally released on Steam in October 2025. Yes, I know it's January now, I'll explain later why it took so long to make this video. I opened the game and it looked intriguing. I had never actually seen any gameplay before, to be honest. All I'd seen was this artwork here. But let me tell you, I did not expect this. I don't mean that in a bad way, game's fun, and that just wasn't what I expected. Anyway, I completed the first mission, which took me 8 minutes and 31 seconds to complete, and I'd already unlocked 4 achievements, and so I decided to make it my mission to 100% the game. Let me explain how this game really works. As well as trying to just complete every level, there's also a career and upgrades. As you progress through the career by gaining score throughout the levels, you get upgrade points which you can use to help you as you go through the game. All of these upgrades are perks you can collect in the game anyway, but these are essential because it helps you out at the beginning and boosts those perks in each level. The further you progress through the game, the less score the earlier levels will count towards your career progression. Career also awards other perks and weapons that you can collect in game. Some are better than others, we'll get to that. Good upgrades to unlock at the beginning are things like health and magnet, because you'll actually need them to progress further. You'll pick up the magnet perk in the game while you're still early on, but once you get further along and have upgraded yourself a ton, the upgraded magnet will be enough and you don't really need the perk in game. Health too. Still collect the shield though. Also, explosive rounds you can probably upgrade last because you won't get any explosive weapons until you've played through a couple of levels. I'm just going to read out all the achievements quick for you. Thanks Bathrobe, launched the game for the first time.
I need a weapon.
Pick up a weapon.
Were it so easy.
Pick up your first perk. Brawler. Eliminate an opponent with a melee.
You know how expensive this gear is, son?
Acquire your first upgrade.
Hoorah!
Finish a level using only human weapons. Apex Predator incoming. Eliminate 100,000 enemies.
Hail to the king.
Finish any level at 300% game speed. Have fun. Unlock custom game.
Not bad.
Finish any level at 150% game speed. I thought you were stronger. Eliminate 343 Guilty Spark. Impressive. Finish any level at 200% game speed. Finish a level using only alien weapons. Soldier. Finish all the levels on normal. Oh, that's how you survived. Finish the level Guilty Spark with Johnson.
Demon.
Finish the more and legendary difficulty at 300% game speed. Legend. Finish all levels on legendary. Survivor. Finish a level on heroic difficulty with only one weapon. Spartan. Finish all the levels on heroic. Rookie. Finish all the levels on easy. Myth. Finish all the levels on mythic.
Reclaimer?
Level up 5 weapons and 5 perks to the maximum in a single run.
A great journey!
Finish all the levels on all the difficulties.
Forerunner.
Reach the highest ranking career. And lastly, Bloodbath. Eliminate 1 million enemies. I kept making my way through the game, eventually realizing I could increase the game speed to a maximum of 300% to make things go quicker, and now that I'm constantly playing on that setting, I can never go back. Also, an FYI, playing through a level on each game speed is also an achievement. I managed to unlock 10 achievements on my first day playing the game. 40% of the way there. Now here's why this video took so long. This game was actually bugged. When I got to attack on the control room, the level was going just fine until just after I hit level 30. After which the game began to freeze, probably due to the sheer number of enemies being spawned in. I literally could not get past it. I tweeted at the developers who promised to fix the problem, but it did take a couple of patches before that happened, and I may have forgotten that I'd been playing the game in that time. Look, I have a short-term memory, alright. Anyway, when I finally did remember about this thing, I hopped on and beat the level. Next, I moved on to the level Guilty Spark, which is where I first encountered the Flood, and despite having played Halo CE, I completely forgot that this is where they'd appear, and it actually made me jump. And that's how terrifying the Flood is. We really need an enemy as scary as that again. By the way, anyone know what these things are in the library? The really annoying copy-paste level? Do they actually exist, or have I just forgotten? I kept making my way through the game and finally made it to the last level. The Maw. Fighting through the hordes of Covenant, Flood, and Forerunner tech, I had to defeat 3 Guilty Sparks in order to complete the level, which is actually easier than it sounds. Either way I did it, I completed every level and unlocked custom mode where I can change settings to make the game easier or harder, but this wasn't the end. Like I said, I completed the entire game, on normal mode that is. I still had easy, hard, legendary, and mythic to do. I'd only completed 13 out of 25 achievements so far, so there was still a way to go. Plus getting every upgrade and completing the career, which was an achievement, was still on the table. First on the list was to tackle every level on easy mode, which was, forgive the pun, quite easy. I did that no problem, seeing as I already had most upgrades in the game, meaning that I could just stand there and let the level play out. There was an achievement called which requires you to complete a level using only alien weapons. Now how am I supposed to do that, seeing as you spawn in with an MA5D assault rifle? Well, the thing is, I've only ever played as Master Chief so far in this game, but there's actually a selection of characters you can choose from. Each character comes with its own selection of weapons, stats, and perks, and by playing as the Arbiter, who doesn't appear in Halo CE, but fingers crossed for Combat Evolved Remake Arbiter missions, you start with the Needler, which he very famously uses. You don't have to just use weapons as in pew 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 weapon, you can also use Covenant tech, but you can't just do this on easy mode on Pillar of Autumn if you want. Oh, but the achievement Survivor, where you have to finish a level on heroic difficulty using only one weapon, does require you to use only one pew pew weapon and nothing else. You can use perks though. Oh, that's how you survived. Finish the level Guilty Spark with Johnson. Sergeant Johnson comes equipped with a BR-55 service rifle and an extra slot for both weapon and perk. Some characters just have weapons specifically locked to them. The achievement was easy to get seeing as Johnson is immune to flood anyway. I'll quickly run through all the characters. Of course we have Master Chief and his MA5B assault rifle, the Arbiter and his Needler, Johnson and his BR-55 rifle, but we still have another 6 characters. Bathrobe, a developer of the game who starts with a flamethrower and the Bathrobe perk. More on that later. And then we have a Goat who starts with a Magnum and an efficiency perk. But seriously, a Magnum? Who carries a pistol as their primary weapon in Halo CE? Is that even possible?
The Covenant will believe that everyone aboard this lifeboat died in a crash.
Then we have Larpalard, a Halo content creator who has a plasma rifle and a big magazine. ODST Ace has an SMG and a magnet, Halo.API has a shotgun and a health pack, and lastly Spartan Vico has a fuel rod gun and demolition. Most of these guys are real people. Whilst I make my way through a heroic playthrough, let me use this time to give you some advice. When you get to Commander, you'll unlock the Fuel Rod Gun. This is an amazing weapon which can destroy hordes of Covenant instantly when teamed up with perks like Big Magazine, Efficiency, and Demolition. Also, combining it with plasma mines, plasma grenades, and mine frags does very well. You do unlock the rocket launcher at Gunnery Sergeant, but I wouldn't recommend using it. As Jameson Locke said,
It's common knowledge that the Covenant have a significant technological advantage over the UNSC.
But to be honest, it's just really the fuel rod gun I would recommend over the RPG in Spartan Survivors. I think generally the UNSC weapons are better than the Covenants in this game. Maybe you could argue that the Needler is good, I guess. A great perk you can unlock late in career is Bathrobe, which I mentioned before, at General 5-star. This upgrades all stats by 10% at a time, incredibly OP and a must-have in every level you play after that point. Also, make sure to be collecting perks like Shielded, Efficiency, and Demolition if you have explosives. You can skip at the level up stage if you want to wait for better weapons and perks too, as you can't replace what you already pick up first. The character I'm using here is Spartan Vico. As I mentioned, he starts with a fuel rod gun and demolition. When combined with all the upgrades and strategic perks, he's incredibly OP. He allowed me to complete all the levels on Heroic. After that, it was time to finish all the levels on Legendary. And with the help of Spartan Vico, it wasn't all that difficult and did not feel like Legendary. I never actually completed an entire Halo game on Legendary before. I began a Halo Reach Legendary playthrough, but I got to, I think, New Alexandria and kind of forgot to finish it. I did say I have a short-term memory. There was also an achievement titled Demon to finish the more on Legendary at 300% game speed, so thank goodness I'd already been playing on that speed to begin with. Once I was done with my Legendary playthrough, I had enough upgrade points to get the Explosive Round level 3, which was the last upgrade I needed, making me unstoppable and ready to plow through Mythic difficulty. I'm not joking about that. Having every unlock and upgrade in the game caused this to go much faster than it otherwise would have. Also, Mythic isn't a real difficulty in Halo anyway, it's a community named difficulty where you use the Mythic Skull. But that doesn't matter. What does matter is that I completed the Great Journey. But there were still 3 last achievements to get. One I'd been trying to figure out for a while was Reclaimer. This was where you have to level up 5 weapons and perks to the max in a single run. Now I had completed the more on Mythic and I hadn't been able to do that, so it did confuse me for a bit when I realized something. Remember when I completed the game for the first time on normal and unlocked custom game? Well, that was my ticket. So I enabled custom game, set number of weapons and perks to 5, increased shield capacity and play speed to 200, enabled endless mode and headed into the Pillar of Autumn where I went on a killing spree. Little tip for you. You see these level up drops that appear on the map? Don't collect those immediately. See, the thing is that when you get to around level 31 to 34ish, the XP drop from killing enemies barely gives you anything. So collect weapons strategically that allow you to just sit in a corner and wait for the drops to spawn in. In this case, I had a fuel rod gun, shotgun, flamethrower, SMG and AR in my inventory. Once you're confident enough drops have spawned in and you can get past the hordes of enemies, go around collecting the drops and level up your weapons, and that's how you get the Reclaimer achievement. Okay, final 2 achievements. Reach the highest rank in Korea and eliminate 1 million enemies. Just so you know, the Bloodbath achievement doesn't update till you exit the level in case you're confused why it's not going up. Anyway, I just left the moor running for a while and it allowed me to reach 1,000,000 enemies killed. But I still had one more rank in career to get, so I had to do the moor a few more times to get that XP. Make sure you turned off custom game, by the way. I forgot the first time. I did the same thing where I just sat in the corner and left it running, but I kind of just started watching YouTube videos for about 20 minutes. And when I came back, the score said none and it was bugging out so hard that I couldn't leave. So I had to restart the game and keep an eye on it this time so the score wouldn't get too high. Long story short, I got the last 10 upgrade points and finished the career. After all that, I finally 100%ed the game, even managing to beat it before the developers themselves. It took me nearly 15 hours to complete the whole thing and it was quite fun to be honest, though it did take a lot out of me playing 4 hours at a time. I mean, you can easily complete this game in a day if you want to. My final tips, I'll just reiterate what I said before. Fuel rod gun and explosives good. Get bathrobe perk, efficiency and big magazine good too. Maybe play through a few levels multiple times to upgrade yourself before moving on so it makes later levels easier. Especially before playing attack on the control room. Don't walk through hordes of enemies if you can't handle it because they buy off a decent chunk of your health. Stick to the edges and keep your weapon aimed on the ones in front of you until you can get some range. Anyway, that was a wild ride. Spartan Survivors is a weird but wonderful game and I would recommend playing through it if you have some spare time before you gotta go do something else. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe as it took a while to make. Thanks for watching and I should really finish my Halo Reach Legendary run.